Hello again, Gooners! Yes, I'm back after a very, very long break. I hope you can hear me really well because I've done a couple of sound checks and I did a whole spiel and it didn't record very well at all. I like saying at all because it sounds like something. I think it's an agent actually, Atoll Still, isn't it? I don't know who you represent, but if somebody knows, do give me a bell. The phone line is, I haven't got a number. Never mind. I'll tell you what, talking numbers, 1-1, that's a pretty good number, is it? No, it isn't. Actually, dropping points at home to Spurs, to me, is not the best thing we've ever done. Given the Spurs team, I don't think this particular Spurs team put together by Pochettino and his predecessor, and his predecessor before that, and his predecessor before that, I don't personally think it's the strongest Spurs team we've had to face. So it's quite disappointing to drop 2 points at home. Anyway, at least the unbeaten run continues. But we've still got Chelsea to catch. We've still got Man City to catch. Anyone else? I haven't looked at the league table as much as I should have done. But anyway, all I'm saying is I'm not overly impressed. Although I think we had enough possession, but more than enough possession. We had 82% a lot of the time. I'm not saying for the whole match, but when you were seeing the figures popping up on screen, yeah, it looked like we did enough, except score. And when we did score, it was an equaliser, obviously after conceding a silly goal. Flamini getting caught on the ball, getting slightly worried about Flamini of late. Players I'm not so worried about. Callum Chambers, I think he stepped into the breach now that Mathieu Debuchy is injured. Chambers is certainly going to get a lot of run-outs. He will make mistakes, but he's a youngster, he's only 19, and I predict a really, really great future for him. At club level and international, I think he's going to make it. Providing, of course, he steers clear of injury. I said the same about Giroud this season. As long as he steers clear of injury, he's going to get 20-odd goals. Obviously, he's not going to get him sitting on the sidelines while he repairs himself, if that's what big strikers do. And how is he going to get back in the team? That's what everyone else is asking. Me too, a little bit, because Danny Welbeck, I'm really impressed with him. Okay, I know he's a bit lucky with his so-called assist when the Ox grabbed the equaliser, because Danny Welbeck obviously miskicked before that, which inadvertently led to the goal. And we've got to be pleased with that. We've got to be really pleased that we managed to grab an equaliser. Team spirit, as Arsene Wenger is keen on saying. And there's plenty of that, a fair bit of skill as well. What do we lack? Everybody said we lacked a central defensive midfielder. I kind of disagreed a bit, but I'm starting to agree with the majority, because Flamini hasn't been at his best lately. I think he's good enough, but he's not proven it recently. Arteta, I thought his legs have gone really, and I'm still in that camp really. I think Arteta's a good player to have, but I just feel, yeah, if we had a really strong central midfielder who's defensive minded, I think it would make a huge difference to our prospects. I'm worried about Mertesacker a little bit as well, because I think his lack of pace is being shown up recently. It's really teams are kind of playing on him to make good use of that. He's not. I know. I'm not always very keen on central defenders that are severely lacking in pace, but Mertesacker, to me, hasn't been winning the ball enough in the air either. He didn't play too badly against Spurs, and I thought he did all right. But it's a good job we've got Koscielny. It's a good job we've got Callum Chambers, and obviously Gibbs is doing pretty well also. So as long as those guys are around him, I'm still reasonably happy with Mertesacker. Flamini, as I said, not so happy with. Arteta, even though he got injured today, and I don't think he did too badly prior to his injury, I'm not so sure. Well, we've got to stick with him till at least January, and he is club captain, and he's a good captain. So, and he can score penalties, so there are a lot of pluses. It's a decent passer of the ball. There are a lot of pluses with both Flamini and Arteta, and I'm quite big fans of both. But the thing that really, really worried me this week was when I read that Arsene Wenger is intending to use the Twiglet as a possible. You know who the Twiglet is. All right, I'll explain. Diaby, because, you know, he breaks so easily like a Twiglet. He's always, unfortunately, he is very fragile. He's a good player when he's fit. I don't think he's a world beater by any means. He's never going to be a Patrick Vieira, unfortunately. I wish he would be. I wish Arsene Wenger could wave a magic wand and turn him into a new Patrick Vieira. If he could do that, then I would be less worried. So what am I worried about? What are we going to achieve this season? I've said it all along. Cup, that's our only chance we could win a cup. Well, we're obviously not going to win the Carling Cup now after having been defeated by Southampton, who are doing really well this season. The league is beyond us unless we really strengthen in January and we're not too far behind whoever's the league leader at the time, because it won't be us. Champions League, we've lost our opening game. That doesn't mean an awful lot, does it? As long as we progress. But I think we'll progress, but it's obviously going to be difficult. We just don't seem to have enough strength in depth. It's the same old story. Sanchez looks pretty useful. He's got more goals than I thought he would have scored by this time in the season. Obviously, he didn't really provide the cutting edge against Spurs, but he's a bit of a nuisance, and he's adapting well to the Premier League. A lot better than I expected. As I said, I'm happy with Welbeck, Chambers, even Sanchez, got to say, because he's been better than expected. I'm a little bit concerned about midfield. It's probably the area that I'm most concerned about. Is we keep picking up injuries there. We thought by getting in this, what's his name, Forsyth, we thought that was going to change everything as far as players in sick bay, but still we've got so many players in sick bay. It seems like we've got more in the medical room than we've got out on the pitch, and that in itself is worrying. Since I last saw you, obviously Bellerin played in the Champions League, got slagged off quite a lot for his performance. Not sure why, because Bellerin's a youngster. He shouldn't have to be thrown into the deep end against a top team from Germany. That's no way to treat a youngster, really, is it? But I've still got a lot of faith in Bellerin. Like I said, I've got a lot of faith in most of the players at the club, with one or two exceptions, and I won't dwell on those because you don't want to hear negatives, do you? We got a point against Spurs. Are you pleased about it? I'm not particularly, but at least it's better than the defeat and keeps the unbeaten run going. Hopefully we'll manage to start beating the top teams and Spurs this season. No disrespect to Spurs, I don't personally think they are one of the very, very top teams. They're sort of pushing for a top 4 place, but I don't think they're quite that level. They may finish 6th, it wouldn't surprise me, possibly even 5th, but I think that would be at a push. We've got to watch out for the likes of Liverpool, Man U. I think they're the ones we need to. They're our nearest rivals in terms of ability. Man City and Chelsea still got more than we've got, unfortunately. But let's hope I'm wrong about that, like I've been semi-wrong, let's say, about Sanchez. Until the next time, I can only say this: away.